A surefire way to start a business that's successful is not by starting with the idea, but by starting with the problem. What's up guys, my name is Weiss, and on my channel I talk about entrepreneurship and my journey as an entrepreneur. I'm gonna say up front, this isn't gonna be your typical video on Shopify, Amazon FBA, or SMMA. I can always teach you how to flip a couple items and make a quick buck, but those things are never going to make you rich. And I want you guys to be as successful as possible. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to start a real business. So make sure to stay tuned because I'm gonna be telling you some very important points. We need to start by first defining what exactly a business is. And for that, we have to talk about some basic economics of supply and demand. A business is a machine that consistently solves problems in exchange for money. That's it. I'm gonna start it again. A business is a machine that consistently solves problems in exchange for money. Now, what is money? Most people conventionally know money as currency, a way for people to do transactions. But I'm going to change your entire understanding of what money is. Money is simply a transference of value. Even better used, energy. And a business is just a mechanism, a system or medium through which you attract that energy into your life. When you add value into other people's lives, you attract money. The more problems you solve, guess what? The more money you make. A business breaks down into two main components: a client attraction system and a client retention system. In order for a business to run, you need to have customers, and you need a consistent way to get customers at that. And then after you get the customers, you need a way to retain those customers and keep them coming back. Now that you understand what a business is, how does one start such a machine, especially with no skills? Most people wait for the perfect idea. Most people wait for that $1 million idea that they get in the shower, some random point. But the truth is, a surefire way to start a business that's successful is not by starting with the idea, but by starting with the problem instead. You go into the market and you find a problem that a lot of people have. The more people you can solve a problem for, the more money you're gonna make. Jeff Bezos is a billionaire because he revolutionized the way people shop online. Elon Musk is a billionaire because he changed cars across the world. Uber is so successful because it revolutionized how taxis work. You don't have to solve such a big problem. You could solve a smaller problem and you'll make less money, but it's much easier to get into. There's a much smaller barrier of entry. But that's how you do it. You start with the problem. You have to figure out what problems you want to solve before you start your business. And to do this, try to think of the things that are in your own life. Think about things that are inefficient in your own life. Things that you wish existed that don't. I'm going to read this from an article. Sarah Blakely, the co-founder of Spanx. She is a billionaire, married to one of my greatest role models. His name is Jesse Itzler, but Spanx founder Sarah Blakely was getting ready for a party when she realized she didn't have the right undergarment to provide a smooth look under white pants. Armed with scissors and sheer genius, she cut the feet off her control top pantyhose, and the Spanx revolution began. With a focus on solving wardrobe woes, the Spanx brand has grown to offer bras, underwear, leggings, active, and more. Spanx has secured its place in women's hearts and in pop culture with daily mentions everywhere from CNN to SNL. You hear that? She started with a problem in her own life, and guess what? She's now a billionaire. So you need to start with something in your own life, or if you don't have any problems, which most people do, but if you consider yourself perfect, then go ahead and ask any of your friends or family the things that they're dealing with in their own life, things that would dramatically help them. You start with the problem, you're going to find solutions. It's much easier to get your brain stirring on something that already exists rather than to come up with something out of thin air. Once you figure out what problem you want to solve, you need to learn how to solve the problem better than anyone else. I know this video is titled How to Start a Business with No Skills, But the truth is, you need skills in order to make money. At least your business needs skills in order to make money. And the skills that you generate, or you already have, are used as a tool set to add value into people's lives, thus getting money in return. This video is to get your brain stirring on to figure out exactly what problems you want to pursue. When you decide on the problem you want to pursue, I need you to commit to mastery. I don't want you to just put a couple hours into this. Malcolm Gladwell writes in his book Outliers that it takes around 10,000 hours to master something. Now, I don't want you to freak you out. You can still start to sell, you can still start to generate revenue and start your business before you've achieved mastery. I did it with my business. In fact, my very first client, I didn't run a single Facebook ad, but I got hired to run Facebook ads and I kind of jerry-rigged the whole business together. I don't recommend that. Now I'm gonna tell you, my first client situation was a fiasco and I'm currently fixing up the wreckage. But I went in with the mindset I wanted to learn. And when you get that mindset and you master understanding that you are always learning no matter how much you fail, you just can't lose. You can lose all kinds of money in the short run, but the experience you gain is gonna be there for a lifetime. Just make sure that you're setting proper expectations with your customers, that you're learning, you're just starting, you're just beginning, and use your enthusiasm to win over other people. While you go through the process and you're making imperfect action over and over and over again, eventually you're going to master it. You're gonna get so good at it that everyone is just gonna know you for that skill. And when you're known for one thing, that's when you have authority. And when you have authority, you have a monopoly on the market. Lol. I accidentally locked myself in here. This is great, okay. When you figure out the problem you wanna solve, I want you to start on a small scale. And then what you wanna do is solve problems manually for your customers or your clientele. And what this is called is done-for-you consulting. Now, I know people say,
"But Zach, you're just talking about SMMA by Tai Lopez."
No, I'm talking about doing this with a long-term mindset. The end result isn't to have an agency or a consulting business. This is the stepping stone that once you solve a problem for one person, you're gonna realize that more people have the same problem. Now, eventually, you're gonna start taking on more and more clients. You won't be able to solve everyone's problems manually. I started by doing full service marketing on a month-to-month basis for real estate agents, and eventually I realized I could just train real estate agents who already have marketing teams and just teach them the skills I know, take a check, leave, and I'm done. And what you can do is kind of do that in your own business, whatever problems you're solving. Instead of being responsible for all the results, train people on the knowledge, and then they're responsible for the results. And instead of paying you for results, they're just paying you for your time and your expertise. Guys, I'm so sorry, the lighting is horrible. This is called done with you consulting. Now, what's gonna end up happening eventually is that even with these done with you coaching clients or training clients, it's gonna become too much and you're not gonna have enough space. When you're solving so many problems, people are going to come in swarms. They're gonna want you to help their friends, they're gonna want you to help their family, which is great for business, but it's not good for scale. So what you're gonna end up doing is you're gonna use the internet to leverage your time better. So rather than taking 10 people in real life, you can schedule like a 1-hour live stream, for example, and then help 100 people at the same time while they ask questions to you in a live stream. Now, obviously, you're gonna have your price reflect that because there's not as much intimacy in this. However, you can scale so much more. This is something I'm doing right now with Graham Stephan's coaching program. He doesn't have the capacity to do one-on-one coaching or even done with you coaching, but he put us onto a Facebook group and he goes live once a week, and this is very efficient in getting everyone's questions answered in a proper manner, and the price reflects that. It's not $700, it's $70. Once you have all these clients who you're solving problems for, you're gonna realize that a lot of the questions and problems that these people are having are probably going to repeat themselves over and over and over again. Those birds. And what you're gonna wanna do in this situation is pay attention, because when you realize the same problems are being answered over and over again, it doesn't make sense for you to just waste energy to answer them, but rather, now it's time to create a digital product, whether it's in the form of an online course or a software, otherwise known as a software as a service or a SaaS product. You can create a course that answers all of the commonly asked questions, and you spend a ton of time up front, And then what you do is you sell this product to people, and there's zero overhead after you finish it. You could sell it to one person, or you could sell it to 1,000 people, as long as it's evergreen and the information won't become obsolete. This is the only problem I have with these gurus, is they make information on like Shopify or Facebook ads, and then every couple days Facebook or Shopify will change their rules or the laws, and the course becomes obsolete. You need to teach information that's always going to be true, or it's going to be true for a long period of time. Now with software as a service, what you're doing is you're creating a platform that allows people who you're serving to use your platform and solve their own problems using it. So let's say that I help real estate agents generate leads. A lot of people who generate leads for a long time realize that they can just create what's called a CRM or a product for them to generate leads on, and then they can do all the follow-up as well. My buddy Jason Wardrop, who's also a fellow YouTuber here, was doing real estate lead generation for a while and then realized that he could really leverage his time if he created a product. So he created a CRM called Arsenal MKG. And with this product, realtors use it so they can generate leads and do all the follow-up on their own. If you have an idea that you can automate, that's another great opportunity. And then the way people pay you is, instead of buying a $1,000 product once, every month they're paying a subscription to stay on, like Spotify, for example. Spotify completely changed the music industry. A lot of people used to end up torrenting music or using iTunes, but there's no need for it anymore because you have every song you ever need for $5 to $10 a month. You're paying a monthly fee in exchange for a product that you get to use on your own. So Zach, wait, you just told me that the real way to become rich is with a digital product or a software. So why aren't you starting with that in the beginning? Why are you making me go through all this BS and doing like one-on-one consulting and then done with you? What's the point of that? To answer that question before you leave it in the comment section. The truth is, you need to build an authority before you start selling information to people. People are just going to look at you as another guru, and you're going to destroy your reputation. Gary Vee said in one of his podcasts, it was an amazing quote, if you monetize in the short run, you are destroying your brand in the long run. If you really want to be successful, if you want to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire or successful by your own definition, you have to start delaying gratification in the short run and building a long-term mindset and understanding that you're not going to just make it in one day. You don't want to win the lottery because it's actually going to hurt you. Another amazing YouTuber I follow, his name is Roberto Blake. He says this quote, "The sprint is saturated, but the marathon is not." And with that, I'm going to end the video just by asking you guys the following question. What kind of problem are you looking to solve that will add value into their life in exchange for money, that will create a business for you? Please let me know down in the comments below. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.